This video will provide an overview of the draft recommendations for the Bluemound Road Transit Enhancement Study. The study is being completed by the Southeastern Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission by request of Waukesha County and in partnership with Waukesha Metro and other local stakeholders. This study will make recommendations relating to bus stop locations and amenities, bus frequency and running times, pedestrian improvements, and expanding bus-only lanes. This map shows the draft recommended route and stops for enhanced transit and the corridor, which includes more streamlined routing on Main Street and Moreland Boulevard near Westbrook Shopping Center in Waukesha. The study is also considering removing the route segment into the Brookfield Square area, given the planned extension of the route to the Milwaukee Regional Medical Center. The Brookfield Square area stop serves as the transfer point between Route 1 and the Gold Line, which will no longer be needed. Recommended stops are 1/4 to half a mile apart and utilize existing bus beds near crosswalks where possible. The 13-mile route will provide transit access to 30,000 jobs and 13,500 residents within a half a mile of stops, and provide a more streamlined option for those transferring to the route from other transit lines in both Milwaukee and Waukesha counties. Draft recommendations for bus stop locations and amenities. Most bus stops along the existing route lack a shelter or seating. In the near term, where ridership warrants, basic shelters with seating and solar-powered lighting are recommended to provide a place to sit, protection from the weather, and a more comfortable transit experience. Enhanced shelters are recommended at high ridership stops in the long term and could include added amenities like ticket machines. Here is a map of existing and proposed shelters, with existing shelters shown in dark blue and proposed shelters shown in yellow. Shelters are recommended at bus stops with higher ridership. Based on existing and forecast ridership, shelters are proposed to be added at East Avenue, Springdale Road, at the stops near Brookfield Square, near Target in Brookfield, and 112th Street. Ridership levels should be monitored to decide if and when additional shelters should be added. The study also recommends that mobility hubs be considered at Gerkes Corners and/or near Brookfield Square. Mobility hubs are enhanced transit stops that foster connections to other modes of transportation, like on-demand rides, employee shuttles, or longer-haul bus routes. They can also include other amenities like improved shelters, coffee or vending, restrooms, access to bike share or storage, and more. Draft recommendations for bus frequency and running times. The study recommends that buses on this route come every 15 minutes, that evening service hours be expanded until midnight, the Waukesha Metro adopt the UMA app for payment and trip planning, and that Wi-Fi be available on buses. These improvements will make the service more convenient and better accommodate restaurant and other second shift jobs along the corridor. Draft recommendations for pedestrian improvements. A survey of current bus riders in the corridor showed that pedestrian safety and comfort is a challenge. In many cases, transit riders must cross roadways that are 6 to 8 lanes wide to walk to and from bus stops. The study recommends that in the near term, pedestrian signal timing be reviewed to consider accommodating a one-stage crossing, meaning that pedestrians have time to cross the entire intersection within one signal cycle. Stops are also recommended near intersections with existing pedestrian refuge islands to allow a two-stage crossing if necessary. This map provides an overview of existing pedestrian crossing infrastructure. For the most part, pedestrian crossings near proposed bus stops meet design guidelines and are ADA compliant. The majority of crossings near stops are signalized with a marked crosswalk, curb ramps, and a refuge island. This map shows where pedestrian improvements are recommended or already planned. On Main Street, near Woodman's in the city of Waukesha, a new pedestrian crossing would need to be added to provide a safe crossing to the new recommended bus stop. At the proposed bus stops at the intersection of Moreland Boulevard and Springdale Road in the city of Waukesha, ADA bus beds and sidewalk connections are planned. On Swenson Drive in the town of Brookfield, curb ramps and sidewalk connections are needed. Near Gerke's Corners, an improvement to an existing sidewalk connection is planned. On Executive Drive near Brookfield Square, bus stop pads and a safe, accessible crossing is recommended. And at the second stop near Brookfield Square, a curb ramp and sidewalk connection is recommended. Draft recommendations for dedicated bus lanes. Nearly half of the route has bus-only lanes, which help the bus run on time and avoid delays from traffic. This is a significant asset for transit in this corridor. Right now, the dedicated bus lane runs on Bluemound Road between the corners of Brookfield and Underwood Creek, the Waukesha-Milwaukee County line. Bus-only lanes could be extended to the east into Milwaukee County by converting the shoulder and some limited areas of on-street parking from Underwood Parkway to I-41. This would help to further improve speed and reliability of the service, with limited impacts to traffic or businesses, since off-street parking is available. Ridership and cost estimates. The study team estimated future transit ridership on the route if the recommended improvements are made. The recommended enhancements are estimated to attract 100 to 200 more riders per day by 2025. Capital costs, or the cost for construction or equipment to get the recommended improvements up and running, would average about $260,000 per year over the next 5 years. Investments would be staggered, and various funding sources would be pursued to help cover the capital costs. Yearly operating costs, the cost to run and maintain the service, will be expected to increase by 10 to 26% to fund the recommended improvements. Now it's time to share your feedback. View the maps and other information shown in the video at sewrpc.org/Bluemound-transit and provide comments now through April 30th. Thank you.